What's going on, everybody? This is the
Num-nums.
season finale, kinda, for the podcast this season.
Well, for the live aspect for the moment.
Yeah. Wife is possibly going in for surgery this coming week.
Happy hands.
Or the next week at a different hospital. Like, we don't know, but the surgery is coming up, so I gotta take care of her through, I gotta take care of her through post-op shit and everything, so really won't have time to like sit down and stream
like a lot
and do
of
everything.
shit and editing.
Yeah, but I stuff will be still going up. Anthony and I have been talking about shit, so it's all good. But hello
Scooby-Doo,
and welcome all.
Where are
Yes,
you?
to another episode, which is probably going to be my favorite episode of the Spooky Horror Show podcast.
Of course it is.
I'm your host, Sean. I'm joined again by Anthony, and today
Hello.
we're talking about one of the two best Scooby-Doo animated movies ever made. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island.
What was the
the other one is Witch's Ghost from '99.
That one. Oh yeah, I don't remember that one. That one I don't remember seeing.
That's the one where it's like that's the one with what the hell's his name? Tim Curry, who plays like who plays the Stephen King.
Now I gotta look that
character.
up.
Yeah, and it has the Hex Girls in it. So
okay.
It was good. I need my water. That smelling salt fucked me up.
I literally told you this idiot goes off and smells salts to wake up before stream. I'm like, you don't do it before the stream. Don't do it before the stream. You gotta get that fucking shit up in your nose. Now your fucking throat's hurting. You gotta drink. I'm just saying.
Hell yeah.
A little earlier than this.
Good day, sir. Unpopular opinion. You don't like Scooby-Doo. How dare you? A pup named Scooby-Doo? A pup named Scooby-Doo is awesome.
A pup
Mystery
named Scooby-Doo
Incorporated?
is kind of cool. Listen, it's not that I don't like him. Like, I don't like Scooby-Doo. It's just not something I ever really got into. That's it.
Have you seen the newer cartoon, Mystery Incorporated?
He watched all of them when it came out.
Mystery Incorporated
that cartoon was pretty cool.
Such a good fucking cartoon. God, I could talk about Scooby-Doo all the time. I'm planning a giant Scooby-Doo tattoo. So there's that. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, not the remake Return to Zombie Island, because that movie sucked asshole because they lost the plot while they were trying to make that one.
Oh god.
But before we get into all that, I do want to remind everyone that if you want to be part of the Spooky Horror Show, it records live Saturdays at 6 p.m. at twitch.tv/moondog82. That's Central Time. If you can't catch us live, or you just prefer an edited version, you can search for the Spooky Horror Show on YouTube or any of the podcast services. We appreciate liking, subscribing, following, commenting, all that good stuff. It all helps with all the various algorithms. But now with that out of the way, Anthony, how has your week been?
Actually, it was pretty good. I mean, I've had a steady amount of work to do, so. But other than that, I've just been work. I mean, weather's been like off and on. They tell us it's gonna snow like every fucking day, and it's not snowed except for like one day. It like had a little flurry. All the other ones have been rain. I was like, you guys suck at your fucking job.
Yeah, no. Well, it's like I think I sent you the text for like the next 10 days. It's gonna be like 73 degrees.
Yeah, it's like 24
so
for me.
Great. Yeah, we'll get our fucking shit in like January, February. That's usually when we get our 2 weeks of snow where Texas fucking implodes. My week has been fine, I guess. I have, and the wife pointed it out, that it's probably because I'm burnt out. I've had no desire to edit,
to do anything. Whatsoever. Yeah.
Last week's podcast, the Last Train to Busan podcast, I'm still editing because I didn't even like sit down to do anything until Thursday, and then Friday we had more surgical appointments, so I didn't do anything there, and then I came home and just went right to streaming.
You got a lot of shit going on, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you gotta be tired, plus you never sleep in the first place.
So it'll go up when it goes up. It should be
you have plenty of content.
Probably it should be done middle of next week. I've been wanting to play games, but like I can't bring myself to like play anything.
It's been terrible. I go through my list every fucking day. Every day. You got to see me on Discord. I load up like 4 or 5 games.
I turned on Starfield today, and I started like playing with stuff, and then I was like, I should finish the script for Zombie Island. So then I turned that off, and then I was like, I feel like I'm so close to beating Tears of the Kingdom. Maybe I should just turn on the Steam Deck and while watching Zombie Island, play that.
There you go.
And I was like, no, I should focus on that. And then it's like, but I do have Super Mario Wonder. Maybe I should play that. And then I was like, no.
Nothing.
Let me go cook dinner. and everything. So it's been a lot of that. So I'm hoping with the break I can kind of focus a little bit more.
Get a few things out of the way. That way it might be easier
Yeah.
for you.
Plus, it's like I'm trying to fine tune actual short film scripts for January to start sending shit out January for festivals.
Oh, okay.
So it's like whatever. And then with the looming surgical appointment, it's like, do I
looming? That
really
sounds so terrible that way.
Well, with her sending out her in case I die on the table list and everything,
Oh my
it's
God.
like, what the fuck?
You're fucking terrible.
I know. So it's like, do I really get like super invested in stuff when like I probably won't have the time? So it's like, I don't know. It's like I'm all over the place, but you ready to get into production facts? I do actually have a lot because Scooby-Doo is
big.
What, like 70 years old?
Yeah. Well, wasn't he on Hanna-Barbera back in the day with like Captain Caveman and shit?
Yeah. When this movie came out, it was already like close to 30 years.
Wow, really?
So,
shit.
Yeah. So a little history on the Scooby-Doo franchise. At least at the time of this film's release, the franchise was reaching the 30-year mark. Going into the early 90s, ratings weren't great, but it kept chugging along.
I remember that.
Mainly because they just kept making shit over and over again.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember the Scooby-Doo show where it was like every episode had like the special celebrity guest, like they had the Harlem Globetrotters, Batman.
Yes, they always did that, and I hated it. And then fucking South Park made fun of it because that's all they did.
Yeah.
They would either help catch the person in the mask, or they were the one in the mask.
And I think they even tried to redo it because I think there was like a newer cartoon series that had like LeBron James on it.
Well, that would make sense.
Like,
more relevant people to the time.
In 1991, to help fill programming gaps at the new 24 hours a day, 7 days a week cable channel centered on animation properties, Cartoon Network, Turner Broadcasting System, otherwise known as TBS to people in America, bought the animation studio Hanna-Barbera. This purchase did wonders for the franchise with its new renewed popularity because Scooby-Doo reruns were like attracting ratings like hotcakes on Cartoon Network because it's playing all the time. It's kind of the thing with everyone shits on Teen Titans Go, but it's like currently I think like Teen Titans Go is the longest running cartoon on Cartoon Network.
Oh, really?
Like it's always running, and because it's always running, it's always getting new fans. So it's always grabbing kids and shit. So also, Zombie Island was not their first attempt at a Scooby-Doo feature-length film. I think there were a handful
before that.
Yeah, they had a handful of ones produced in the late 80s starring like Scooby-Doo, starring Scooby-Doo in things like Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School and shit like that. In 96, Turner merged with Time Warner, and this is when things started to get rolling for this movie. Davis, I believe his name is Doy. Davis Doy was in charge at Hanna-Barbera and was told to start developing projects based on the studio's existing properties, with Warner executives suggesting Scooby as like their top thing for a direct-to-video feature film.
Made him the main star.
So the team assembled to make this were all veterans of the animation business.
Oh.
And prior to this, had like just come off of other cartoons that I loved.
Of Scooby-Doo or SWAT Cats?
The people that made this were just like the animators and the executives and the directors and writers. They were from like SWAT Cats, The Radical Squadron, The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest.
Oh, okay.
What's the other one? It's another one. I'm still trying to find the either Sega or Super Nintendo version of it. The Pirates of Dark Water. It was a cartoon back in the day, and the people that worked on this movie also made that. Screenwriter Glenn Leopold had been with the franchise since 1979's Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo, which wasn't great. And the film was directed by Jim Stenstrom, who worked on Scooby-Doo projects beginning with 1983's The New Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo Show. They were really trying to push Scrappy-Doo, and I was never really a fan because he was too much of a like, oh, you wise guys. I hated that. I always fucking hated that. Even though now I have a dog that looks like Scrappy-Doo, and he's named
him. So.
Yeah. Well, he looks like him. He might as well. The film was considered a one-off experiment by Studio Brass, and the crew worked with little oversight and complete creative freedom. Doy and Leopold developed the film's story. However, Leopold received sole credit for the screenplay, most likely because Lance Falk, who was a model coordinator on the film, revealed in an interview on a podcast named So it's a podcast named Scooby-Doo. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's probably just a podcast that's just it's just a podcast, but it's I think now defunct. I'm pretty sure it was just a podcast that was like solely centered around that, and you only have so much information you can do on it, or it's like, we ran out of cost.
We ran out. Yeah.
But apparently the script for Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island is recycled from Leopold's script for an unfinished SWAT Cats episode named Curse of Cataluna.
That makes a lot of sense then.
Stenstrom and Doy suggested in early storyboard meetings that the monsters be real in the film. Previous Scooby-Doo outings always outed the bad guy as like a dude in a rubber mask.
Oh, okay.
They felt that the man in a mask concept worked for half-hour television, but might grow tiresome over a feature-length film because it would. That would be boring. Leopold disagreed, noting that throughout the franchise history, it's always remained a simple, solvable mystery. Lance Falk suggested they combine the ideas, and that's what they did. Zombie Island marks the first time someone besides Casey Kasem voices Shaggy. The reason behind that decision is Kasem refused to provide the voice of Shaggy if he would not be a vegetarian like himself, because Shaggy eats crayfish in the movie. And it's like good fucking riddance. It's like the bullshit where you have a job, but you can't separate your religion from it. Get the fuck out of here. We don't fucking need you.
But it's a cartoon.
Exactly. But it's these people are so fucking ingrained. It's not, Casey Kasem is here. It's fucking Shaggy. Shaggy eats everything. What is he like? He's gonna go to a place. Louisiana. Is he just gonna eat grass? What the fuck is he gonna do?
Even as a vegan, I know Shaggy never was that in the first place. So I mean, why the fuck would he need it now? That's a little bit extreme. No one asked him to actually change the way he believes. It's just a fucking cartoon.
It's get out of here. Other people have done the voice better. Goodbye. I don't care. Instead, Shaggy is voiced by Billy West, who we might know as, I believe, Fry from Futurama. Frank Welker is back as Fred Jones.
You all right?
No, I'm trying to figure out his name. I think it's Scott, either Inez or Inez, takes over the voice of Scooby. BJ Ward is Velma Dinkley, and Mary Kay Bertram as Daphne Blake, with Mark Hamill, Jim Cummings, and Adrienne Barbeau rounding out the cast. We don't have a budget because they were pretty much given whatever they wanted to just make it, and it was direct to TV, so we don't have a box office.
Oh wow!
With
it
all
was.
Of that,
oh yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was direct to TV.
I remember when that came out. Yeah, VHS, I think.
Anthony, what are your thoughts on Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island?
It's a good movie. I mean, I'm not as big of a Scooby person as you. I went through it with my kid recently, but it's not bad at all. It really is. It's better than the cartoon half-hour shows. I like the movie ones better. So like, it's better than the half-hour shows for me. But it's a fluffy thing. You know how I am. If it's not rated R, I don't want to watch it. Like, it's just.
But you said it has to either be like PG or rated R. It can't.
Oh
be
yeah, that's why I liked it.
And
it was a cartoon.
PG.
Oh yeah, because my son's trying to read it off. Oh, horror, but son, it's not horror. It's not any of the other things. It's a fucking cartoon that says spooky or mystery. That's it.
Yeah, I love this movie. For me, I've seen every single Scooby-Doo thing that has ever come out. In the history of, it's the same thing with Batman. Any Batman media except for the Joker, because that's just live in a society. I don't fucking care.
I thought you meant like the animated one. No, that movie that was a waste of my time.
I've seen everything. I have a bunch of it. Like I bought it on like DVDs and VHS and stuff. Hell, I have
Batman stuff. Oh, the Scooby statues.
Yeah. Let's see, demo. But yeah, so like I've seen everything, and I will not say all of Scooby-Doo is amazing. Okay. There's a lot of dog shit. But that can be said with just about every. Yeah, and that can be said about a lot of.
I think
any media.
You think that Texas Chainsaw 2 was good? I thought it was fucking terrible. So like, there's always going to be good and bad.
You also thought the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre was good until I had you go back and rewatch it with a critical lens, and then you realized all the faults that you were trying to defend. All of a sudden, you're like, "Well, I can't. I can't anymore."
Yeah, I mean, I'll still like it. But, hey, you got to call it for what it is.
But there were a lot of good ones. And what really worked for me with this was the fact that, yes, in the cartoons, the half-hour shit that they have, it's always just a man in a mask. And that's fine. But the fact that with this movie, a longer form thing, it's not a man in a mask. It's real fucking monsters. Like, that to me was so fucking cool. Because you can watch the half-hour cartoons on like Cartoon Network or whatever and be like, oh, okay, it's Scooby, they're solving mysteries and shit. And I've
Who's
always
the guy
felt
in the mask today?
Yeah,
the
but I've always
mayor!
felt that when it came to the movies should have always portrayed them as real monsters. They should not have been men in masks. And there have only been a couple of them where it wasn't men in masks. But the only two that they have done good were Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island and Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. Those are the only two that they did correctly. Where it's
Mystery
like, it is real
Island or
monsters
whatever,
and
I
shit.
think. No, those were still, they weren't actually monsters. They were still found out to be fake, right?
Yeah. Well, which one?
The second one? Scooby-Doo and
Return to Zombie Island?
The live action one.
Oh, yeah. It's because the first one was Scrappy doing something, and the second one, it was like Monsters Unleashed. But I think it was just someone fucking around and doing shit like that. No, it was Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island was obviously zombies and like werecat people. And then Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost was basically a witch trying to bring back their ancestor that was a witch, and the spell working and causing all this stuff. So
so it's a hocus
technically
pocus.
Real. Yeah. So technically it was a man in a mask, but the mask was his own face and the shit was real. So it's like, I've always liked this. I would love to see like a 4K remaster of this where they fix the animation and
cool.
shit.
They add the scenes into a CGI, you know what I mean, update.
No, not CGI. Just
whatever the hell they
do. The animation, because I noticed like the at the end when Scooby's trying to eat a sandwich and the cats surround him, like they have glowing eyes, but the glow of the eyes wasn't centered right over the eyes, so it was up just a little bit so you could still see the cat's pupil. So it'd be great if they could go back and remaster it. But this is one of those, especially if you want to get like kids into like horror. This is a really good way to like ease them into it, where it's like, it's monsters.
Zombies are cool. They're not going to be that bad.
It's like, think about it. Like, this was a story where the people of the island killed other people that came to the island and sucked out their energy and shit. And like their corpses are still littered across the island. And it's a kid's like cartoon.
It's a kid's, I know. So they come out the ground and everything.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, I love this movie. It's something that I watch a lot, to the point that like I know it's kind of like Killer Clowns from Outer Space, where I know all the lines of dialogue. I know all the music. I can repeat everything line for line throughout the whole thing. So it's like I can do everyone's dialogue, and then when music comes on, I can sing all the music and go right back into the dialogue. It's the same thing with this in Witch's Ghost.
I can basically do an audio book for the movie.
You ready for some plot?
Plot.
So, after solving the mysteries in the castle, which I guess I'm assuming is the monster was supposed to be a moat monster, or would it be a moat monster? It seems like a swamp monster because it has like gills and stuff, but they're like
of the Black
on like
Lagoon?
An English countryside. Yeah, it's weird. I don't get it, but it's the real estate agent. He's printing fake money or some shit. The Mystery Inc. gang decides to just go their separate ways. It's always a man in a mask, and it kind of gets boring. Daphne Blake, along with her producer Fred Jones, start running a successful television series called what was it?
Mystery. It was Mystery.
I think it was like no, it was. I think it was. I don't think it was Daphne Blake. I think it was Daphne Coast to Coast.
Yes,
but yeah, it's basically just like a travel thing that she's doing.
I think that was it.
While appearing on this talk show, Daphne announces that she's doing on her new season, she's doing Haunted America, where she's in search of real haunted houses and stuff. No more men in masks. We then cut to Shaggy and Scooby, who are now working as custom agents in an airport to find contraband food. They are very good at their job.
However, very good.
However, they're still Shaggy and Scooby, and they eat everything in the confiscated evidence lockup thing, except for Gargonzola. They leave Gargonzola. I've never had Gargonzola, so I don't know. Velma works at a bookshop or owns a bookshop. I think she owns a bookshop because it's called Mystery Inc. Yeah. So it's called Mystery Inc. Bookshop. So at least they're all sharing the IP of Mystery Incorporated. Fred Fred contacts Velma, Shaggy, and Scooby to see if they all want to get back together and surprise Daphne for her birthday and go with them on this like haunted America tour. I like this concept of the gang splitting up.
Getting back, and then them getting back together later on.
Yeah, because it's like inherently known that like they've been friends since childhood and they've done the same thing for forever, and they just at a certain point they go, this isn't working anymore, and they go their separate ways. But like they don't hate each other. Like that's the big thing. In the first live action movie,
they had animosity.
Hated each other.
They had bad animosity.
It's like Scooby and Shaggy. Yeah,
so they were trying to keep the gang together.
But it's like everyone else just like couldn't stand each other. So I like this, that it's just they got older, they grew apart. It is what it is, and they couldn't be more excited to like see each other again. That's cool. They embark on the road trip, scouting haunted locations across the U.S. for Daphne's new show, only to encounter more fake monsters.
Dum, dum, dum.
However, during this montage of exploring these locations, we get a killer soundtrack song, The Ghost Is Here by Sky Cycle. They arrive in New Orleans, Louisiana, and they're invited by a young woman named Lena Dupree to visit Moonscar Island. An island allegedly haunted by the ghost of pirate Morgan Moonscar, where she works as a chef. They're skeptical, of course, because it's just they're talking about, man, I wish we could find like a haunted place, and then I
just
know a haunted
place.
Yeah, like, all right,
what coincidence is this?
I figure they still go, and it's kind of surprising that they would go, but then you figure, you figure like they, it's them, but they also need footage for the show. Yeah. So they might as well at least check out this cool fucking like plantation on a fucking island in the fucking middle of the bayou. But they can't find Shaggy and Scoob. Why? Because they're off eating. What else do they do? They're in the middle of eating po' boy sandwiches.
Oh, the po' boys, yeah.
Now, I was very confused seeing this because I was like,
po' boy is not that sandwich.
That is 100% a cold cut sandwich. That is not a po' boy. But I was confused because it was like Pierre's Poor Boys, the largest poor boys in Louisiana.
But they're not supposed to be big. That's why they call it a po' boy.
Oh yeah, no, but I was just like, why are they calling it a poor boy? P-O-O-R.
No, that's how it's. Yeah.
And I had to look it up, and it's like, yeah.
In California, there was a restaurant called Po' Boy that had a really good food that when I was a kid I went to.
Yeah, I just never knew that it was actually spent for like, impoverished. Like, I thought it was just P-O', which is a way of spelling it.
Yeah,
but I didn't know that it was poor boys. I was looking, I was like, why the fuck are they spelling it like that? What is going on? Again, yeah, those po' boy sandwiches are not that size, and that is not, there's no
Scooby size.
There's no shellfish whatsoever in that fucking sandwich. That is a straight up cold cut sandwich. On the island, they meet Fairman and Jacques, Lena's employer Simone Lenoir, I believe it's Lenoir, who lives in a large mansion on a pepper plantation, and Simone's gardener, Bo. While the gang gets a tour of the property, Shaggy and Scooby occupy themselves with eating in the kitchen. While eating, I think they were just called Moonscar Island peppers. They were peppers, and I think they're just called that because they're super spicy. I don't know.
I think so. But I made the joke at the end of it, like ghost pepper. Oh,
jeez.
Nobody else thought it was funny either.
Shaggy and Scooby encounter the ghost of Moonscar, who carves "Get Out" into the wall. Daft, Fred, and everyone come running inside, figuring out what the hell's going on with the scaredy cats, and see that, so they decide to film a segment. And while they're filming a segment, a ghostly wind blows through the air, adding "beware" to the warning that was originally there. And then Velma's levitated in the air and then dropped on top of Scooby. After reviewing the tape and seeing that there is in fact a ghost behind Daphne, and they don't know how that happened, Velma decides to go back into the kitchen and tear up more of the drywall to discover the word maelstrom.
Yeah.
And that's when they realize that the house was built using basically Moonscar's ship for the
lumber
parts. Yeah.
Oh, good God.
Later, Scooby chases some cats and is then himself chased by Mojo the pig or warthog. I don't really know.
It looks like a warthog, but he just says pig.
Yeah, and I was like, oh.
But it is true that he says about that, pigs that are intelligent, because they actually are.
It could be a pig, it could be a warthog. We don't know, because they also called a cold cut sandwich a po' boy. So I don't really know. It's kind of like that thing with Pokemon where the rice balls were called donuts.
What?
For a while. You didn't know that?
No. I don't remember hearing that at all when I was watching that as younger. The fuck?
Remember they would always talk about Brock's donuts?
No.
How Brock would make donuts? But he wasn't making donuts. He was making rice balls.
Rice balls.
Yeah, but when they brought it over, Americans were too stupid to understand like different countries' cuisines. So they just went donuts. Just call it a donut.
They know fat Americans just know what a donut is. Is that what it is? Oh my God.
They don't know what a rice ball is, so we'll just call it a fucking donut.
Rice balls are so fucking good.
The warthog chases Scooby back to Shaggy, and then they fall into a pit only to discover bones.
Despair.
The bones then reconstitute themselves into zombies and chase them away. When the gang go back to check out the pit, Velma suspects Bo, since that was his 6-foot deep pit that he was digging to plant tiny ass houseplants.
Yeah, bullshit on that.
Yeah,
bullshit.
It's like I know it's supposed to be a red herring.
Who put the plant 6 feet under?
It's like it's like even she goes. He's like, I was planting stuff. She's like, in that? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, no, get the fuck out of here, dude. No, absolutely not. Despite all this, and still skeptical, they decide to spend the night. Scared of the ghosts that pop up in their room, Shaggy and Scooby run out and run to Fred for help, and they later end up bumping into Simone. Simone does not like dogs because she has cats.
She has cats, yeah.
When they get down for dinner, she tells everyone that, enjoy the food. Scooby needs to eat in the kitchen. So Shaggy goes with him. So Shaggy goes into the kitchen with him to eat the food, only to be bothered by cats again. Scooby chases the cats into the dining room where everyone's eating, causing another fucking mess.
Fucking ruckus.
So when Simone's like, no, now his ass needs to eat outside. He needs to get the fuck out. So they end up just eating crayfish in the mystery machine, which... that is gonna make that entire
thing
smell. It's gonna smell so fucking bad.
So fucking terrible.
So they go back in. They're eating. While they're eating, Shaggy and Scooby are chased by more zombies, and then the rest of the gang goes out searching for him. Velma still suspects Bo, even when, she suspects him even more because while they're looking for him, he like comes walking out from behind a fucking tree.
Yeah, which is fucking weird.
Like, bro, I know we get like what his whole deal is at the end, but at this point, it's just like, bro, you're making yourself look bad.
Yeah, like, you're not making yourself look good in anyone's light. You keep doing this weird shit.
And the fact that like he's like, oh, they ran that way, and when asking, like, well, did you see any ghosts or zombies? He's like, no. I haven't seen anything. Like, then what are you doing out
here and fucking randomly? The other guy at least was fishing catfishing or whatever. This guy's just fucking behind trees.
Daphne is annoyed at Fred because he keeps flirting with Lena keeps flirting with him.
Yes, Lena keeps flirting with him heavily.
So Daphne's like, I'll go with Bo, and Velma's all like, no, I will go with Bo. Because at this point, she doesn't want to fuck him. So she's like, no, I will fucking go and keep an eye on him. You just go with fucking Fred. So they split up. Fred and Daphne end up finding the mystery machine, and Daphne fucking judo flips a zombie that reaches out to grab her. They think it's just another man in a mask, so they try to remove the mask.
They rip it at this dude's face.
Daphne can't get it up, and I think this is possibly before mansplaining, but when she can't get it off, and Fred just looks at her and goes, well, you're not doing it hard enough. You're basically going, you're not strong enough. You have to do it this way. It's like, oof. So even she goes, all right, tough guy, you do it. So he does it and rips the zombie's head off. It flops around a bunch. They think it's a robot, and the zombie puts his head back on and fucking stands up. That freaks everyone the fuck out.
Of course.
And then they get it on camera because they also found Scooby at this point. Shaggy and Scooby get separated from everyone. They run one way. Daphne and Fred, I think, go because they're not being chased. I believe they hear Lena scream, so they go back, and that's when he drops the camera in the quicksand, and then they lose all the evidence for their show. Now this is when we get another banger from Sky Cycle. It's Terror Time again.
This fucking song.
Fucking dude, I love these fucking songs.
I was reading those fucking lyrics, so I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So it's like there's a whole montage of like them being chased and everything. Eventually, they end up in a cave. Shaggy and Scooby discover wax dolls resembling Fred, Velma, and Daphne.
Voodoo dolls.
Begin playing with them. It's at this point that Daphne, Fred, Velma, and Bo meet back up. They bump into each other, and
naturally,
then the fucking voodoo dolls with Shaggy and Scooby fucking playing with them. It's making them fly
in the air.
They like drop the dolls, and Velma's dump truck ass fucking knocks Bo down. Dude, the sheer amount of not even Rule 34 shit about Velma is just fucking insane. The rest of the gang goes back to because they drop them because that's when Scooby notices a shit ton of eyes in the darkness, and it's a nest of bats. Would that be like the easiest thing to call it? I think that's just what you call it, just a nest of bats.
I don't know what it's not like the murder or anything, or
that's crows. Yeah, I don't know. I will call it a nest. It's a shit ton of bats, and you know, if we watched more Morbius, we would fucking know.
I'm not watching that movie.
Would know. Dude, it's so bad.
I'm not watching that movie.
Bad. I watched it for free.
I don't know what movie this was that they were talking about. They're like, oh yeah, the guy that did Morbius. I'm like, don't tell me that guy did it. I'm definitely not watching it then.
Yeah. They end up making their way back to the house, and they split up again. Velma, Bo, Fred, Daphne, and then Fred ends up finding the secret passage in the stairs.
Oh, of course.
Falling and getting hurt, bumping into.
And who's there? Who's there to get him?
Fucking Lena. Oh, Fred. Are you okay, Fred?
I was just gonna do that.
My big strong man. But I do love that when they walk
already.
I do like when they get into the house though, and they separate again. Velma's all like, "Oh, the power's out," and Bo's just like, "Ah, it's probably just a breaker. I'll go turn it on." And she's just like, "Oh no, mister, you're not leaving my side. I know you probably had something to do with it. Bitch, he's been with you the whole fucking time.
He hasn't done anything yet. Like, you gotta calm down."
Like, Christ almighty. They meet back up, and Lena claims that they went to go in the secret tunnel. It was used to hide from Union soldiers. Yeah, because they was
Union Confederacy. That's what they said.
They were part of the traitors, so they were trying to hide from the Union, and she claims that the zombies drag Simone away. Velma immediately notices there's no drag marks. There's footprints. It's like, okay.
Use your common sense.
The passageway leads to a secret chamber for voodoo rituals, where Velma confronts Lena finally about the lie of having seen the footprints instead of drag marks, and it's at this point that they trap the gang with the voodoo dolls. Simone and Lena reveal themselves to be, and Jacques, as werecats.
Simone explains. Werecat cougar things?
Yeah.
What are they, like Pumbas? Like giant Pumbas? Like, I don't know.
It's basically like animated version of the live action Cats movie. It's just that's what they turn into.
He's not wrong with it, actually. It does kind of look at it. What do you
Simone explains that 200 years ago, she and Lena were part of a group of settlers on the island who worshipped the cat god. When Moonscar and his crew invaded the island, they chased the settlers into the bayou where they were eaten alive by alligators. However, Simone and Lena were the only ones to escape and survive. Yeah, they went and prayed to their cat god to curse Moonscar, and they were transformed into immortal werecats. They killed the pirates, but later realized that invoking the cat god's power had also cursed them. With every harvest moon, they lure and exploit victims to drain their lives to preserve their immortality.
Going to suck your blood.
They hire Jacques along the way to facilitate like the whole plot. This way he has people to like bring them there in exchange for being immortal, and that all the zombies and ghosts there being previous victims. They awaken every harvest moon to try to scare people away to prevent them from suffering the same fate, but no one ever listens because they're zombies and ghosts.
Wait, do we hit the point where they tell you about the zombies, that they're not bad?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's here. That it's like, those are the... They're basically trying to scare them away. I don't think they have anything for Scooby. Yeah, because Scooby and Shaggy still aren't there. They meet up with Jacques, who then Jacques turns and starts chasing them, and Shaggy and Scooby end up disrupting the werecat's draining ceremony, allowing the gang to free themselves. Lena and Simone grab Shaggy and Scooby and begin to drain them when Daphne and Velma use the voodoo dolls to stop them. The werecats surround them, finally getting to feed or whatever, but realize it's too late as the harvest moon had passed, and this causes them to crumble to dust.
Burn.
And then
Like a
all the
vampire.
zombies, well, I think it's mainly because they've been alive so long that they just like disintegrated.
Yeah, because
The only thing keeping them alive was like sucking out the stuff. But yeah, then the zombies' souls get to rest, so they turn to dust too, and their souls float off into the fucking thing.
into the abyss.
Daphne cannot believe everything that just happened, and she's super bummed that they lost the evidence when they lost the camera. She worries that even the cops won't believe them.
They would have gotten some fame for her.
She worries that the cops won't believe them when Bo reveals himself as an undercover police officer that was sent to investigate the disappearances on the island.
Oh, well.
They're still not going to believe you.
No.
Like, you still don't, just because you have a cop there, they're still not going to believe you that the owner of the house on the island and the ferry boat captain and her chef turned into werecats.
Werecats.
Cat people monsters, and were sucking out the energy.
By the full moon, by the moon's light,
works,
you know?
Yeah, that's not how this fucking works, dude. But yeah, that happens. Daphne X Bo to be a guest star on her show to talk about all the stuff that happens.
Oh, okay.
And they decide to leave the next morning. So they're leaving, find out that Bo wants to write detective novels and mystery things, and Velma's all like, oh, gee golly gumdrops, I have a mystery bookstore. I love a good detective. I mean, story. And then as Scooby goes to eat a sandwich, he's surrounded by the cats, as I talked about before. Their eyes begin to glow, but not in the right place. And that is the end of Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island.
Scooby-Doo.
I realized watching it, it's only like an hour and 6-minute movie.
Yeah, they weren't long.
Like, it's not a long movie. It's like 2 episodes.
But it's also not, it's really not even like a newer movie. Newer movies are longer, but when we were kids, we only used to get like 90 minutes. None of us could sit around. Our attention span wasn't that long.
Ready for some fun facts? There are a bunch.
Well, yeah. It's
the film is dedicated to Don Messick, the original voice of Scooby-Doo. This is the first time Scooby-Doo shows any aggression towards other animals. In all previous series, he is kind and friendly towards not only cats, but others such as mice, gophers, little baby chicks, and like other things.
So was there a reason? Does it say that there was a reason why he was this time?
No, I mean, let's be completely honest. The cats in this movie were fucking assholes. They were not good cats. They were constantly picking fights. You could hear them like, meow, and it's like, get the fuck out of here. As I said earlier, the guy that wrote it, Glenn Leopold, worked on things like SWAT Cats and The Real Johnny Quest and Pirates of Darkwater, and that elements from the other Hanna-Barbera projects were included in this. So it was the episode of SWAT Cats, The Radical Squadron. The episode that was used for it was The Curse of Cataluna, which was the cat god that they
pray to and shit.
Pray to and everything. And then with The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, it was either the episode or TV movie Eclipse from 1996. That's the moon harvest and everything. And then Pirates of Darkwater is they basically sail on a pirate ship called the Maelstrom, which is Moonscar's ship name.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Adrienne Barbeau was an early Scream Queen, beginning with her first movie, which is a similar ghost theme. It's the cult classic The Fog.
Oh, The Fog!
She was also in 1982's Swamp Thing, which had a bayou setting.
Well, yeah,
the video sold so well and received such like general like positive reviews in the press that this led to the series of future direct-to-video, I guess, feature films. Which a lot of them aren't good.
Yeah, we used to get a lot of these. Used to pump them out like every other fucking month.
Every year we would get like 3 or 4. It's just like, they all can't be winners.
It was insane. It was insane.
This is the only movie not executive produced by William Hanna and Joseph Barbera prior to their deaths, and the first movie that doesn't have a special thanks to Joe Ruby and Ken Spears.
Oh, okay.
They are the actual people that created the characters.
Oh, okay.
But it's always given to Hanna-Barbera.
Was there a reason why because
it was a Hanna-Barbera production.
Oh, it wasn't like and they are filmed, just a production.
Yeah, so it's kind of like Disney. Disney didn't create Moana. someone else created Moana, but because it was made for Disney, it's like, oh, it's Disney's Moana and shit like that. This is the first Scooby-Doo production that alludes to a romantic relationship between Fred and Daphne, which had been poked fun of in Johnny Bravo, the sensitive male Bravo Doobie-Doo from 1997. That was like a fucking mouthful.
It was.
They get jealous of each other when Fred takes a shine to Lena and Daphne's interested in Bo. Velma also forms a friendship with Bo, but denies an attraction to him because
she's nerdy and doesn't want to say so.
Yeah. It was nominated for an Annie in Outstanding Animation Home Video Production and for an MPSE Golden Reel for sound editing and direct-to-video, both in 1999. There was a belated sequel called Scooby-Doo Return to Zombie Island, which, unlike this film, received mostly negative reviews and has been called by fans total garbage and is an absolute insult to this film, because it fucking is. The voice acting was amazing, because you had like Kate Minucci taking over for Velma, who I'm pretty sure Kate Minucci voices Velma in a whole bunch of stuff except for like the Velma cartoon.
Okay.
Because that's Mindy Kaling. But Matthew Lillard is Shaggy. I think Frank Welker's back as Scooby and possibly Fred. Because I'm pretty sure he does both. But it's just like the story was just such utter dog shit, and it went right back to the whole man in a mask thing. And it's like you just shit all over the original thing just to make a fucking cash grab. You fucking piece of shit.
They were pumping them out all the time, though.
Yeah, but the Return to Zombie Island came out in 2019.
Damn.
And like you had all those years to figure out a great sequel to it, like specifically to Zombie Island, and you just fucking shit all over it. It's like, go fuck yourself. Then current series character Scrappy-Doo was considered for the movie, but it was rejected in favor of the return of series characters Fred, Daphne, and Velma, which is that is the Scooby Gang.
Yes.
Like, I don't mind seeing Scrappy and stuff, but
Scrappy was like an add-on, a side story of the cartoon.
Scrappy needs to be like very limited. He should not be fucking everywhere. It's awful. But yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
we're all done. Fun facts. What'd you like? What didn't you like?
I know I liked it. I liked it for what it was. I'm just not, like I said, I'm not a Scooby person, so like it doesn't really affect me as much as it affects you. But it is a good movie.
I'll send you Mystery Incorporated porn. It's okay.
Oh god.
I'll get you into it.
That's fucking weird.
You don't want to watch like Velma, Fred, and Daphne?
It's awkward. Those are childhood cartoon characters. It's awkward.
Yeah, but they're all adults.
I have to piss, dude. We have to hurry.
I love this film. This is a 5 out of 5 for me. I would recommend people watch it, especially if you have kids, and especially if the like cartoons you feel are like the television shows are a little too like kiddie for you. This is a little bit better. The Witch's Ghost is really good, and a newer cartoon of Scooby that is amazing to watch is Mystery Incorporated, where it does do, Monster of the Week, Man in a Mask things. It also does, it's an overarching supernatural story that's like happening like within the constraints of everything. So I love this film. I would highly recommend people watch it. As for next week, there is nothing scheduled for next week. As I said, we'll probably be on break until January. We still need to figure out what kind of little things we want to do for like little extra shit. But I like we'll figure this stuff out. It'll happen. I know Anthony has ideas. I have ideas. We still have to come up with a list of shit we want to do for next season. So yeah, you just need to find some movies that aren't
got them down.
Yeah. Just know I spit on your graves and shit.
Oh
like
my god. That was my bad.
We still need to do the Hill House movies. Because not Hill House, Hell House.
Hell House, yes.
Because we've only done the first one and there's 3 more.
Good.
So it's like we still need to do that. And I still don't think you've watched
the newest one. No.
Yeah.
But you better watch
so we still got to do that. But yeah, it's like we are coming back. It's not like this is like done for good.
Oh,
It's
no.
just, shit's still gonna be going up. It's just, family.
It's the holidays. We also
It's
need to work on the
priority.
next season.
Yeah, it's a lot to try to find fun facts, space everything out, watch the films, make sure that they're even good enough to watch. Like, I really want to do a season of just bad films.
Bad movies,
But
yes.
But
I've seen so many.
But it's like, I also don't want to do something like a season where we're just shitting.
Yes.
On
Be
people,
so negative
you know?
yes. I've said that to myself too.
That's like my only, because I don't want us to be like the negative podcast, but
oh no, yeah.
I feel like to
counterbalance it.
I feel like to make sure that we aren't just actively going out and picking movies. There's like, oh, I know this movie fucking sucks.
Oh, okay. Find
I
it
think
and
what we need to
find
do,
one and then if it's bad or not.
I do think we should just scroll through like Tubi or Freevee and shit like that,
Tubi,
and just pick 10 films each. Just we
Works
don't
for
watch
me.
them. We look at what the thumbnail is and we go okay.
Okay. Jot
But
it
we have to
down.
do it. We have to do it on PC. This way we can like copy
see
this way we
names?
can copy the URL for the
Yeah.
film and like just put it into a sheet. So it's like we could watch it. This way it's like it could be good, it could be dog
Could be
shit.
bad.
Like we don't know,
Come
but like
find out with us.
we'll figure it out and everything. And I figure we'll do that. But yeah, stuff's gonna be a little sporadic, but it's still here. We still have the Discord. That's still there. You can message
Of
us
course.
there anytime. But yeah, that is it for tonight's Spooky Horror Show podcast, and we will see all of you next time.
Next time.
Bye.